All right, y'all boys, what's going on? So today we're back with another video. We're going to be talking about why I think time is probably one of your biggest assets besides your income and your money, etc., cash flow, which I always talk about. We're going to switch it up tonight and talk about time, right? I think personally a lot of young men waste their time doing a lot of things that are not necessarily productive and beneficial to them. And as a result, they stay held back. And this is mainly geared or directed towards my young men that are watching this video. Young men, if you're a young man watching this, your time is valuable, okay? We all have one life. We're going to all die someday. You feel me, bro? You cannot waste a good majority of your time doing things that are not beneficial to you, because before you know it, you're going to be 30 years old thinking back to when you had the opportunity and you had the time to do things that you wanted to do with your life, right? I'm going to be 23 years old in like 2 weeks, which is crazy because I feel like I'm starting to age a little too quick. But I be thinking like, damn, bro, I was just like 16. So 7 years ago, I was 16. 7 years from now, I'm going to be 30. And that went by from 16 to 23. That went by pretty quick. So before you know it, I'm going to be 30. But that's not the point in today's video. Today's video, we're going to talk about why time is your biggest asset. So time, in my opinion, is more valuable than money. You can get money back. You cannot get time back. Okay, you only have one life, like I just said. We're all going to die at some point. So money, you can spend money. You can be very, very reckless with money. Let's even say you go into debt, which I always talk about how you should not do. But let's say you do go into debt, right? You can pay off the debt. You can get that money back. Time, I guess in theory, you have to spend your time to pay that debt off. So I really shouldn't equate the two. But you get what I'm saying. Time is gone. Once you spend that time, once you age, the next day, that day behind you is gone forever, bro. So you cannot get time back. Money is simply a tool. Time is a true resource. And I want you guys to keep that in mind. The way you spend your time is really what shapes your life. You know what I mean? And that leads to money, of course. Time equals opportunity. Every hour wasted, this is to my young men, every hour wasted can be traded for growth. So I'm directing this towards young men because I feel like, are taking the grunt of the negative financial economy that we live in. We are the ones taking the grunt and facing the full effects of how pretty much the entire money system is like rigged against us. But the females don't feel the effects as much. I feel like, personally, in my opinion, young men are like the number one group in this country that are like being like effed over right now. You know, I'm not even gonna curse. I'm gonna keep this PG. And that's why I think it's so important for you to spend your time doing things that are beneficial to you. Because again, bro, the only way for us to progress in this world is to spend our time doing things that are going to be beneficial to us and give us rewards. Because it's like, as young men, you only get rewarded for doing productive things. And if you spend all of your time playing video games, smoking weed, talking on the phone, just on social media, etc., you're going to stay behind. And I don't want any of my dudes that are watching this young. I mean, you could be an old dude watching this too. You still have the potential to do some more stuff. Like, we have to take advantage of our time, bro. A lot of people waste their time doing stuff that is not good for them. Wasting hours equals wasting opportunities. Like I just said, you know, I guess the main thing when it comes to time as a young man, you need to be spending time doing things that are going to have long-term rewards for you. Did I write that? Invest time like money. Yes. You need to think of your time as something that's going to give you an ROI like over a long period of time. And for me particularly, let me give you guys an example. So I'm trying to get my CPA, my certified public accounting license or whatever. So I've been studying actively for that. I failed my audit exam. I'm going to be straight up and blunt with you guys. So I'm retaking that joint soon. But, you know, you can't give up. The point is that I'm trying to get something. You know, I go to work and I'm still studying. Like I'm doing more than just a basic go to work and that's it. And I think that's how you have to be as a young man. You can't just be happy or satisfied with your position. You can't just be like, oh, I got a job and I'm just going to that's it. I'm never going to try to learn anything else. I'm not going to try to like stay up to date on what's going on in the world, how the economy works, the news. And I'm not saying you got to be like a news junkie, but you want to know like what's going on. You know, you don't want to just be out the loop and you want to spend your time doing things that are going to give you an ROI, like I just said. So how you spend your time is ultimately who you become. Daily habits shape your identity. If you play the game every day, you live with your mom. If you keep doing that, you're probably going to do that for a long time. And that's how you end up being one of those 40-year-old dudes that are living with their mom playing Call of Duty in the basement. Our society encourages us to waste our time on unproductive activities, like I just said. Social media is the number one. So again, this is mainly geared towards my young people. Let me get closer to the camera for this. You need to make sure that you're trying to, and this is something I struggle with too. I'm not somebody who stays off social media. I use social media probably too much myself, but I'm at least conscious of it. So if you're not at least conscious of it, you need to have the thought like, damn, I need to put my phone down for a little bit and try to do something else more productive. Especially if you broke and you live with your mom and you're over the age of like 21. Okay. Once you turn 21, you know what? Once you turn 18, but if you were in school, you get 4 extra years, right? Damn near 3.5. But once you become 21 and you're not doing nothing, like you need to get your mom crib, bro. Like, come on. I don't know what you gotta do something else. So invest time like money, budget your hours like you would money, put time into things with a return, like I said 4 times or whatever. And this, whatever you do, this should be what you want to do with your life. So I'll finish it off saying how, I guess I should have prefaced the video with this, but figuring out who you are as a man, who you are as a person is very crucial to this idea of using your time valuably. Because for one, if you don't even know what you want to study, if you don't even know what you want to do, Brandon, how am I going to spend hours doing something productive? I don't even know what I want to do. That's probably the number one thing I should have said first. You need to figure out what it is you want to do first. And maybe you got to experiment. Maybe you got to just look some shit up. Maybe you got to start reading about this, read about that. I don't know. But overall, I think if you just spend your time doing things that are going to give you something in return, for the most part, still have fun, enjoy your life. You know, we only get one life, like I said in the beginning. So you want to have fun with this life, but don't have too much fun, and don't spend time doing things that you should not be doing all of the time. That's all I'm going to say. It's your boy, Brandon Davis. I'm out.